Welcome to the 5-Minute Bible Teaching from Back to the Bible. This is Pastor Nat. Today we're going to talk about something that I think a lot about, and that is the topic of our legacy. If you could summarize your life in just one sentence, what would it be? Now, I'm not talking about what you hope it would be, but what would it be based on what you've done so far? Okay, now let's talk about possibility. What would you want your life sentence to be? In other words, if someone came to your tombstone in 100 years, what would you want them to know about your life? Now, whatever your answer was, in order to make that reality, you have to live it out intentionally. Well, how do you accomplish this? That's what Paul wants to talk about in Galatians chapter 6. Let the one who is taught the word share all good things with the one who teaches. Do not be deceived. God is not mocked. For whatever one sows, that he will also reap. How do you get the legacy that you long for? You intentionally sow what you hope to reap. That's what Paul's prescription is for a desired legacy. Now, I'm not a farmer by any means, but I do like to garden. I'm not a flower gardener. I'm kind of a vegetable gardener. But I will tell you something. After gardening for nearly 15 years, I have never planted tomato seeds and harvested pumpkins. I have never planted pepper seeds and collected eggplants. Why? Because what we sow is what we reap. What we plant is what we harvest. What we do drives what we get. Many of us live life haphazardly, and we get the expected results. Many of us live a life with good intentions, but intentions aren't actions. So the question again is, how do you want to be remembered? What is it that you want to be known for? Do you want to be remembered for your generosity or for your greed? The answer will be found in how you live. Even Paul talks about this in this passage. He says, let the one who was taught the word share all good things with the one who teaches. If you ever want to give your pastor a raise, remind them of this verse. God recognizes the importance of generosity with the body of Christ. But he also recognizes generosity and adequate compensation for those who are in leadership and instruction of the body of Christ. But this only happens when we as believers are generous with what God has given us. God never wants us to give out of compulsion. God never wants us to do anything out of compulsion. Rather, he wants us to do it out of our love for him. We are to give out of our joy of our heart. 2 Corinthians would tell us to give cheerfully. You can be known as generous, but you can also be known as an angry, generous person. So whatever it is that you want out of this life, you have to work for it intentionally. So again, if you want to be known as generous, then you have to give generously. God has promised to meet all of our needs. God is the giver of all things, so we can give freely. But this principle applies to other areas as well. Do you want to be known as faithful or uncommitted? Do you want to be known as spiritually mature or as spiritually stuck? Do you want your legacy to be a person of fear or of faith? Whatever your answer is, God has provided a way to reap accordingly. So today, declare your life sentence, ask God for wisdom, search his word, and then get living intentionally.